What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. In this training, we're going to talk about what happens after the early action, early decision results. What happens when you get accepted? What happens when you get referred? What happens when you get rejected? So, we're going to talk about those in today's session in a lot of detail. If it's a very first time meeting, my name is Coach Tony, former UC Berkeley admissions reader, former UC outreach director, and we've been helping families with the admissions process for the last 16 years now, helping families kind of navigate this college admissions journey so you can help your families out with the admissions process. Okay, let's go ahead and dive straight into this training. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I am going live to Zoom. If people in Zoom can let me know if the screen I'm sharing is the right screen, is the first one as well. And we can go ahead. There we go. Yeses in the chat. So let's go ahead and dive in there. Okay, so we'll talk about all this. So first off, when it comes to the early action, early decision results, there are three outcomes that could happen to you guys. Okay, the first outcome is if you get accepted, right? That's kind of the best case of all. If you get accepted, what's going to happen is you're in. Congratulations, virtual high five to you guys. Your kind of journey could be over because if you got into your top choice school, you are good to go here. If you are in early decision, this is a binding contract. So you will need to let all the other schools know that you got accepted to your early decision, and you will withdraw all the other applications that you submitted to all the other schools. Okay. If you got accepted as an early action schools, then you got in, but you don't have to make any decisions right now. You have until May 1st to decide. So you can kind of keep applying if you want to keep applying. You can stop and be done. It's up to you here. Okay, so that's the first scenario. The second scenario that could happen is if you are deferred. If you are deferred, what that means is you didn't actually get rejected, but your app is going to move over to the regular decision for re-evaluation. So you didn't make the cutoff for the accepted group for this first one, but they're going to push you over to the deferred group over here. So again, it is not the end of the world. You have a shot still. There is a bit of action we'll talk about today to help you guys out in the session. Okay, the third one, which I kind of hope no one gets, but it happens, is a denial. Right, you get denied admission, which means you did get rejected for the entire cycle, meaning you cannot apply to regular decisions over here. So with this option, if you did get rejected, you cannot reapply in the regular round either. That's kind of be what that's going to look like for here. Okay. So when it comes to some context, we always talk about this with a lot of our students. It's going to feel like an emotional roller coaster for your family here. So again, it's normal to feel a little excited if you get accepted in early. We get to celebrate with a lot of our students during this time as well. If you're a little deferred, you might feel a little confused. Like, wait, I thought I had a really strong application. Again, that's perfectly normal as well. And it's okay to feel a little disappointed if you get rejected or denied as well too, right? The key is, again, figure out what you do with the next steps here. So when it comes to deferrals, right, these are pretty common. So things you need to know if you are deferred from a school, it just means, again, deferrals means you didn't get rejected. You were still good. You're still qualified. You're still competitive as well too. But right, colleges, sometimes some colleges, not even a good or bad thing. It's like, hey, I want to see how your profile goes. That's why we tell a lot of students still do well your first semester in college, in high school, or senior year, because they may want to see what happens at the end of your first semester of senior year. Keep in mind also, there are some schools that they defer mostly everyone, schools like MIT or Georgetown as well. And then some schools defer very few. Keep in mind, like a big tip we always say is deferral is not a rejection. It just means not now, right? Let's push it to the regular and see what happens next. Okay. So what happens when you guys are referred? They see potential. We need more information. So what they're looking for in deferral students, they will probably want to see your first semester senior year grades. That is very important to still do very well. Number two, they want to see now how you compare with the regular decision pool is the key. And number three, your evidence of your growth and interest in the school itself as well too. Okay, so what happens, right? So let's say you got deferred. The step number one is if you got deferred, read and understand the letter, because they're going to send you a letter saying, hey, you were deferred. Here is the reason. Here's what you should do next. They will tell you specific things to do. They will tell you specific forms to fill out and things you can or cannot do this next few months is the key. Make sure it's custom per every single school. So make sure you read it and understand it for every single person. Okay. Once you do that, make sure you opt in. It's not an automatic they're gonna push you to the regular round. They sometimes make you fill out a form to say, yes, I am still interested in your school to stay part of the pool. So make sure you do that, because if you don't do that, you might lose out on your spots as well. Right. After that, you want to let your counselor know. Your counselor is going to be the one sending your mid-year report with the updated grades, not you. Is usually the key. Okay. After that, you want to also write a letter of continued interest. We're going to talk about that later on today if you guys are interested in that as well. This is basically reaffirming your interest in that school here. And last piece is, again, you definitely want to share meaningful updates to the schools. They want to see new things. There's a reason why you were deferred. Keep that in mind. So if nothing changes between when you submitted and when you try to do the regular, that might not help us in that process as well too. Again, usually this means you're in that high maybe pile, right? So you want to find a way to push yourself over to the yes group itself. So if you have new achievements, grades, leadership, awards, you want to share all this as well too with them. Okay. So letters of continued interest. Again, this is a like quick little letter that you can include. What do you want to share in here? A few things. Number one, reaffirm your interest. Tell the schools that they're one of your top schools. If it was, don't lie. So too, right? Let them know if it's one of your schools too. Tell them why it's a good fit. It's the extension, right? Don't need to repeat what you already said, but kind of continue to share new things. You also want to share meaningful updates, things that you have done since you applied. That's why I tell students, don't just kind of whatever once you're done. What new things have you done? Again, be respectful, stay positive as well too. Thank them. Don't be weird about it, and keep it to one page. No need to write a book. No need to write a big thing. Nice and short to the point is going to help you guys out over here. Okay. So what do you include? So the opening, right? So we broke it down for you guys. The opening, what you want to do, add your name, acknowledge that you got deferred, and share that you're still interested in attending that school. Okay. Then the body, you want to let them know that you told the counselor to send in your scores as well, so they are aware of that. It shows that you're on top of the updates. And again, 3 to 5 bulleted updates. What has changed in between the time you applied till now, right? Did your first semester grade changes? Would they improve? Were they strong? Did you do any test scores as well too? Did you get any leadership positions during this time? Anything you accomplished, significant accomplishments or projects over here, and any athletic achievements that you've done in within the same time as well too. That's gonna be the body for you guys. Okay. And then when it comes to the closing, right, you want to again reaffirm why the school is a great fit for them, thank them, as well as anything. If anything you can share, you share additional information. They may not ask for that, but sharing that as well too. Okay. So what not to do. So first, that's the what to do. These are things do not do. We see people do this every year. Please don't do it. Number one, do not call the admission office. Again, you know how busy their phones are going to be during this time. So too, thousands of kids, do not call this up. Number two, do not send them extra information if they do not ask for it. That's the other big thing. A lot of people try to, let me try to sneak this in as well. No. If they don't ask for it, you don't want to send it in to them. Again, don't express your anger or frustration. You might feel it, but don't verbally share it, or don't physically write it as well too. And again, don't give up on other apps too. Again, there's this other schools, right? By this time, there's just the early round schools, so there's still the other schools you want to keep your focus on as well too. So Something to keep in mind for those of you guys who are deferred, right? There are kids who deferred and get in as well too. So some of the schools that we pulled data from, University of Chicago, and 10% of deferred students got accepted. UPenn on 9%, and again, it's typically a 5 to 15% of students to get accepted over here. So again, keep in mind that it is still a very realistic way to get into these schools too. Okay. Now, that's the first one. If you get deferred, what if you get denied, right? This is the bucket that none of us kind of wants to be in. But what happens if we didn't make it into the cycle? Keep in mind that the decision is final for this entire season. You can't sneak in and reapply during the regular round. If you got rejected during early, you were rejected from the regular round as well too. So you cannot appeal the decision. You cannot reapply with the regular, and you cannot just call them and say, hey, you're wrong. That's all too, right? Again, keep in mind, we always have a talk with some of our students that, like, yeah, this is not a reflection of your worth or your future successes. I know a lot of students who got rejected from a lot of schools and turn out to do amazing things in their life as well too. So again, this is in that pool that use them make the cut is the key here. Okay. So again, what do we do? Same steps. What are the steps we go here? First step here is to process it, right? People can move on right away. No. This is a big emotional decision. And for a lot of our students, this is one of the first few times where they're hitting like failure, right? As well too. Some of them may hit micro failures, but this is a big moment that like, oh no, this happened as well too. So I tell students, hey, take a time to again breathe, process the emotions, right? You don't want to push it down and keep moving forward, right? Feel the feelings, right? Is the first part. Once you have that, then focus on other apps too. Keep in mind, you can't really change what happened in this application, but you can affect the other applications as well too. So we tell students focus on the other apps that you need to be working on, the other regular decisions over here. After you have that, something you could consider early decision too. Some schools will allow you to apply to ED2 if you are interested in doing it. Keep in mind, again, ED2 is a locked in agreement. So if you guys are going to this one, they are going to lock you into this. You don't have a kind of way out again, as well as a binding agreement, like I mentioned earlier, right? And then the last piece here, again, make sure your grades stay strong. They will see your mid-semester grades, means they'll see your first semester grades. So you definitely want to do really strong because that may push or pull you from the decision itself here. Okay. So what to do? So let's say you got rejected. Here's a few things. All right. Number one, focus on the other apps, right? There's not much we can do with the current application. So what can we focus on other schools is number one. Number two, consider schools that offer ED2 as well too, and see if you want to do that. And again, keep in mind, ED is binding. So if you ED to another school, keep in mind that if they say yes to you, you're kind of have to go there, right? Make sure your senior grades are strong, continue your extracurriculars, right? And make sure everything is good to go. Because again, keep in mind, your rejection got you no. So if you're submitting the same app to the same regular schools or different regular schools, they may have the same results. So make sure you go through everything, make sure, hey, what was I missing? It's a good audit point. Hey, what then did or did I do in this first round to make it? Because again, if if your app was decent enough, it would have been deferred, right? So there's something fundamental in there that we may want to look through all of our essays and apps and see, what was missing? What did or didn't I do over here? Okay. A few things not to do. Avoid these. Number one, again, do not call the common thread. Do not call the admissions office. It's one of the big things. Their phones are flooded during this season as well, too, throughout the entire admission season. So don't try to call the schools. Don't try to change your essays narrative. Again, you might need to tweak it, right? But you don't need to change it completely. This is when some students snowball into a really bad direction as well, too, is a key. Number three, don't let one rejection change your entire worth and define your view of the process. There's tons of amazing schools as well too. Well, I tell students again, they get disappointed from these competitive schools where these schools accept like 5%. I'm like, statistically, more people will get rejected than accepted as well too, is the key here, right? Last one, don't compare yourself to the others. A lot of people do this and it puts them in a really bad mental state of the comparison game. So again, we recommend students don't do this as well too. Okay. However, let's talk about ED2 because for some schools this may help you guys if you guys are interested as well too. So ED2 is the early decision round two. Again, this is like the schools again you got rejected. The other schools you can say you can another school you can say I want an ED school here, right? So again, EDs is a very strong commitment, right? Very much higher acceptance rate. Again, you're legally committing to that school if you say yes. That's kind of the reason why. Over here, you find out faster. So you'll be ED2, you'll find out basically in February. Most schools you'll find out in March there. So again, if you are going to ED2, right? ED2 is between January 1st to 3rd, and you'll find out mid-February. Just like ED1 is like is like beginning November, followed by December. That's the same kind of quick timeline that you can get as well too. Okay, so here are some of the schools that do offer ED2 for those who are interested. I know a lot of our families are interested in top schools as well too. Emory, Vanderbilt, Duke, Northwestern, University of Chicago, University of Washington University, St. Louis, Johns Hopkins, Boston College, Boston University, and a lot of liberal arts schools. Again, only ED if you are like, all right, cool, I'm going because keep in mind, once you get accepted, you're legally going there. You're not going to change your mind. You're not going to like, oh, you didn't give me enough money. I'm not going to go with you. No, no, no. It's a legally binding document. So make sure you're ready for whatever they accept you to do is the key. Okay. So that's something to consider over here. Next thing is some timelines. I put some dates. I think a lot of people here would be interested. If you're watching this live, you can screenshot it. If you're watching the recording of this doc will be available in a few days. For those who are watching the future from the future, it's probably down below or somewhere on this page as well too. But a few deadlines to consider, right? So the current senior class, I will call you guys the class of 2030. That's the college graduation year. A lot of schools haven't released their dates yet. But, right, something to keep in mind for those of you who did apply early action or ED1 this cycle, you should expect to hear back by mid-December. So between December 12th, December 20th, right, you should start hearing back from your EA/ED schools. If you are doing ED2, you'll probably hear back from mid-February, February 10th, February 15th. And again, if you application for regular is January 1st to the 5th, right? So keep that in mind as well too. I also, what our team did, we kind of compiled some of last year's numbers for you guys, last year's date, because again, at the time of this recording, we're still in November, so we haven't hit the ED. We're having trying to prepare you guys for the next month, but these are some of the dates from last year's schools that did ED in EA as well too, so you guys can kind of see that as well. Again, is it the exact dates this year? Who knows? It might be off by a day or two, but this is around the time frame as well too. You can see a lot of the Ivy schools usually do it mid-December. Different options over here. There's a lot of schools that will do also mid-December as well, like MIT, Stanford, Caltech, Northwestern. A lot of other schools are mid-December as well too. Some California schools, and a lot of our families are from California as well. You guys can see a lot of different dates as well. So you probably can. The latest day is the 20th, right? So by the 20th, you should know what schools you guys got into. Again, USC is a little later. USC is EA is in January 24th last year as well too. Pepperdine is also January as well. So again, keep these in mind. Again, this is like keep that in mind for this upcoming year, right? For our seniors who are watching this right now. Again, the rates, right? You'll see that the early action rates are a little significant more than the irregular one, just because ED, you're almost locking yourself in to that school. So they're like, wow, that's a lot of commitment. So too, and if we offer you no aid, you're gonna say yes anyways because you kind of have to, right? That's kind of the logic of the readers over here too. So you'll see a lot of the numbers I pulled up over here for you guys is the key. And then, in case you guys were thinking about the ED deadline twos, is the key over here as well, right? Here's the ED deadlines, and you find out again by mid February is the key here. Okay, so that's that. Can I go? So for those who are live here, can I show you guys a copy of a sample letters of continued interest? Drop a yes in the chat if I can share you guys a sample letter you guys can use in case you are deferred, right? If you are deferred to the school, you can go ahead and send a letter to the schools to kind of see, it can help you guys out. We got two people. 2 people out of 118 who says yes. There you go. Okay, a lot more yeses now. Who wants to see the thing? All right, let's show it up again. This is a sample. This is not the exact one you have to use. Again, use it as a template to kind of understand how to write yours if you are in that deferred bucket. Okay, so the template here looks like hi, name or committee. My name is name. I'm writing to follow up on my ED, to college. While disappointed to be deferred, I remain genuinely excited about the possibility of attending college in the fall. Again, everything I'm telling you is what we talked about earlier, right? Going back so fast. Where do we say this? We said this up in, we said it in, no, going back more, oh, low more, low more, low more. A little more. Right here, right? So this is the structure, right? The opening, acknowledge it, the express, confirm your counselor mid-year, 3 bullet points, and closing. So we're seeing in action right now. All right, we're seeing in action. So that's paragraph 1, exactly that. Paragraph 2, I have requested my counselor send my mid-year report, which includes my first semester senior grades. In addition, I've seen several meaningful updates to share, and you should update 1, update 2, update 3. For example, a specific achievement you got, another one. At least roll anything there that can add new value. You don't want to say the same things already on your app. New thing that's not already on your app is what you want to share. Okay, and then college name remains my top choice because specific reasons. Don't say because you guys have a great research program. Every school has a great research program. So figure out what's so specific about that school that's unique just to you. I'm confident I will thrive in specific thing. Again, don't say at your school. Because again, everyone can do the same at your school, right? What's specific thing here? Thank you for your continued consideration of my application. If there's any additional information I can provide, please don't hesitate to contact me at your email here, sincerely name, high school, and your contact information as well. So everything I mentioned earlier for you guys is included. You see an example version right over here. Okay. So timelines, if you're a senior right now watching this, here's what I would recommend you all follow. Where's my mouse? Mouse disappeared. There you go. If you're a senior, so right now until December 10th, again, monitor your portals, see if anything, if you need to do any regular decision apps, make sure you do that as well too. Between December 12th and 20th, that's the time to look at your portal every day and see, did I make it in? Did I make it in? Did I make it in? And you'll find out most of your ED and EAs by then. By December 20th to the January 5th, if you are denied, again, readjust your focus. Again, feel the feels, then readjust your focus for the regular schools. If you're deferred, right, focus on doing your letter of continued interest over here. Okay. Beginning of January, this is when your regular decisions are due. So make sure you submit those in is the key. And this is also where the ED2s deadlines are due as well too. So make sure you submit these over here. Yeah, late January, you're gonna send in your letter to your interest with your grades as well. As by now, you should have your grades kind of locked in right now. Mid-February, you're gonna have your ED2 results if you did ED2, and then by late March, you'll find out every other school. The official date is April 1st. By April 1st, every single school you should hear back by then. Okay, so I was keeping that in mind as well. Okay, so that's that here. So that's pretty much it. So final takeaways for you guys here today. I see we have a few questions in the chat. I'll run through them in a bit as well too. First one, action plans. One, if you are, first off, if you're accepted, right, then congratulations, you are done with the journey. You can either, if that's your dream school, you can kind of stop everything else and not worry about it. Or you can kind of apply just for the fun of applying, but you know that you have somewhere you're going next year as well too, right? But if you're deferred, number one, make sure you write a letter of continued interest and submit it in late January. Number two, share meaningful updates, new things, don't say, oh, my app, I told you I'm smart, I'm still smart. So I'll do new information there. Number three, reaffirm, tell them again, you are like who I want to go. And again, don't contact the school. Don't send them stuff they don't ask for, right? Is the thing as well too. Okay. Next one, if you are denied, if you're denied as well too. Again, grieve, feel the feels, and then focus on the other apps that you have, right? Your regular decision schools over here. Then if you want to do ED2, you can do ED2 as well too. Make sure you still keep your grades strong over here. Again, do not contact admissions as well too. They're very, very busy at this time. And again, don't change your narrative for the other schools that you're applying to as well. Okay. And for every other student out there, all right, make sure senior year grades are still strong. Again, we hear the word senioritis, right? Where you're like, oh, I'm good, relax now as well too. There are stories you hear that where students' grades dip so low, their acceptance gets rescinded, it gets pulled back from getting accepted from. So again, so don't do that. So to keep your grades strong, do well. Again, you have to try as hard as you used to do. Maybe you can enjoy senior year a little more, right? But right, keep momentum strong till graduation itself too. Okay, continue putting your passion. And again, at the end of the day, the college admissions process is a marathon and not a sprint itself. Okay, so that's gonna be, oh, that's it. And I wrote a remember page. Remember, you have different options as well too. Again, deferral does not define your future. You have many excellent schools on your list. You will find the right fit, and the right fit will lead you to happiness and success. One of the big things I always tell students all the time, every single year, is your worth is not defined by an admission decision at all. Right? In the moment, it might feel that way, but when you zoom out, when you look back, when you talk to any student who's at college now, looking back, when you talk to anyone in their career, when they're 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 years old, looking back, none of this kind of play in the moment. It was probably like a big deal, but looking back, it always works out correctly in the end game is the key. Okay, so that's a quick little lesson for you guys. Again, our team's gonna compile it and then send you guys after as well. But let's do a little bit of Q&A in the chat as well. The first question here is just to clarify, there's no early action incentives for the UCs. Is that correct? That is correct. The UCs do not use early action, early decision. So all the other schools, like I mentioned earlier today, they do. UCs do not. So you'll need that as well too. Okay. Did Tony says slides will be provided after Zoom. I missed the first 10 comments, first 10 minutes of content. This video will be uploaded in a few days. The notes will be uploaded in a few days as well too. If you guys want the notes early, just text our team. However you found here, if you have early access, if you got texted here, emailed here, text or email back, our team will grab you the notes. Again, probably not right now, but within 24 hours of this call, you'll probably get it there. Okay. Our decision dates when colleges decide to accept you are not. Our decision dates when college will decide if you are accepted or not, or when accepted student needs to decide to accept the acceptance or not. So a few things, right? Again, there's a chart now here. ED school versus EA school, right? So if you're applying as an ED school, early decision or restrictive early action, and they give you a yes, that's a legally binding or ED is a legally binding document, right? Saying that you are going to the school no matter what. So at that point, you're done. You by force, you're going to every school. You let them know right away. Hey, I already got into my ED school. Thank you, but no thank you. And you withdraw all of your applications from all the other schools, and you're committing to that ED school. That's why hopefully you only ED to the school that you are comfortable doing that to, that one school there, right? But for the EA schools or the action schools, you get accepted. You don't have to commit right away. You can find out early. The stress of, am I going to college or not, is over. But now you can still keep applying to regular and kind of weigh out the options now. So you have to go through the whole process. Either you stop or you continue doing regular. By April 1st, you'll find out every school, the early action results, the regular results, then you compare them all and you pick one school to go to May 1st. And the May 1st deadline, if you say yes to the school, you are good to go. If you don't say yes to them, they're going to assume you rejected them. So they're going to pull back their letters and that's kind of how waitlist works, right? And they'll let other students go. For me, I always tell students, you don't want to be in the position, so you kind of want to help people as well too. Like a lot of our families, like, hey, I'm on the wait list, I want to get off as well too. So when you have a school that you know you don't want to go, let go of that school, right? So that's kind of this is like a little off topic on a wait list trading. But if you are accepted to a school that you know you're probably not going to go, it's okay to release it from your thing, because that's a waitlist spot that someone else can take as well too. Same thing. I would say, wouldn't you want to, if someone got to your school and they're just holding that spot into the very end, don't you want them to say, hey, can you let go so I can come in? Especially that's not the school they're going to as well. So that's the answer for you here. Next one, do you send the letter of if the college says not to contact? Two different things. It is a don't contact. That's different than do not send any materials is number two. If they say don't contact, that means don't call them and ask them for stuff. That's what that means. However, if they say don't send us any materials, then correct. I would not send them an LOCI, egelloC, if they don't ask for it. If they tell me don't do it, I'm not gonna do it. is the thing there, right? Because that's probably a reason why they're saying don't do it. But if they only say like don't contact us for reasons why you didn't get in, then don't do it for that reason. But you can send it in to see as well. Do we send the letter continue just to a general admissions email or a specific counselor or the same portal as the original submission? Any/all of the above, right? Don't do it for everyone. Pick one way. It all gets ported to the same kind of area anyways. Is the key. So keep that in mind, right? So all gets funneled correctly to the same area. So you can send it in. So keep in mind, some people will tell you in the portal of like when you log in, like, hey, if you want to submit one, send it here. And if they tell you where to do it, send it there. Is the key. Right? Someone asks you, can you unpack what binding means for ED? Of course, binding means you signed a legal agreement saying, I am committing to this school. If you tell me yes, I am legally going there the following year, right? So let's say, for example, you ED to UPenn, right? You say, hey, UPenn, I want to come to your school so much that I'm going to sign my life away. Like, I'm going to sign a document. If you give me a yes, I'm coming to your school. UPenn says, all right, ED, you're a yes. Sounds good. And you are legally going there. The caveat of ED and why we don't strongly say you have to ED everyone is ED, you have no control over financial aid. The benefit of EA and financial aid, you get to negotiate schools against each other. Hey, I got you to EA, but you offered me no money. Can you offer me more money? ED, you cannot do anything, right? So whatever they give you is what they give you. Historically, by the way, they tend to give ED students a little less than some of the EA students could get. But again, your chance of getting is a lot higher. So you kind of weigh the odds a little bit that way is the key. That being said, I'm going to put a little asterisk now, right? Again, it's a legal document. Does that mean can you break it? In theory, yes, right? In theory, you could break it. I do not encourage you to do that at all, because what that hurts is not you, it hurts your high school. If a student doesn't commit to their ED, the school has a little asterisk on the school's name. So you're hurting every single student at that high school moving forward. Is the key. Again, that doesn't happen many times, but it could happen right, as well too. It affects more your school than anyone else is the thing. So let's keep that in mind. ED only if you know without a shadow of a doubt you're going. By the way, if you're asked this question, hopefully you're not a senior, because the dates are all over. They're all submitted. They're all due. I purposely did this training after the EDs were submitted. So this is only for the students who haven't. So seniors who already ED'd, this is like the next steps. But if you are a freshman, sophomore, and junior, this is stuff to think about for the future here. Okay. Awesome. I think that's all the questions that we had today. So thank you everyone for joining me here this call, and I'll see you guys on the next one.